And this week, solid pay-per-view. Nothing that, solid. Definitely solid from top to bottom, from the early prelims to the main event. Solid freaking card. UFC 256 this weekend, headlined by Figueiredo. And then I think the co-main event's kind of the story. I wouldn't say the story, because Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno, both taking this, they fought 2 weeks ago. Both had pretty easy wins, and so now they just threw him right back into the fire, left him in Vegas. I think actually an advantage for Figueiredo, who's kind of had some weight issues. He's a big-ass flyweight. They say he's hanging around that UFC center, and just his weight's under control, and he looks better than ever, which I think is a problem for Moreno. I just don't know where. I think Moreno's fantastic, definitely the second best flyweight on the planet. I just don't know what area he's better than Figueiredo in. I think he's really, really good at everything, but I think Figueiredo's really, really good and better at everything than Moreno. And Figueiredo, he's exactly what the flyweight division needs. He's just this savage, man. He's fun to watch. I think Moreno's going to have a much higher output, but that's only going to get him so far until Figueiredo lands something, whether it's a huge punch, whether he gets hold of his neck. I think Figueiredo gets done under 5 rounds. And then the co-main event with Tony Ferguson, Charles Oliveira. I wish this was 5 rounds, but you're only getting 3. I think we drop it this week. We do a coast-to-coast with Luke Thomas and myself, and we talk a little bit about this fight, especially Ferguson, Charles Oliveira. There's just a lot of question marks going into this fight for both guys. For Tony Ferguson, right, it's like, has Father Time caught up with him? He's 37, fighting at lightweight 155, and his strength of schedule is insane. You look at his roster, he's fought the who's who. He's had some wars. He's had some great wins. He's one of the best to ever do it at lightweight. Was it just his loss against Justin Gaethje? Was that just a matter of bad style matchup? He just wasn't his night. He did cut weight twice before then. Was he just drained? And is that what happened? Or is Father Time catch up with Tony Ferguson? He's 37. That Justin Gaethje fight did take it out of him. There's some question marks. Was it just a bad night for Tony, or is Father Time catch up with Tony? Because he's long in the tooth when it comes to experience, wars, stuff like that. He's been fighting for a long time. He trains harder than anybody. Did that catch up with him? We're going to find out. It was Charles Oliveira, Charlie O, as I like to call him. Charlie O, the Brazilian Bronx, Charlie O, 7-fight win streak. Again, strength of schedule, not even close to as tough as Tony Ferguson's matchups, but he's beat some goddamn good guys. I think his last loss was to Paul Felder. He's beat some freaking good guys. His last win, a lot of you probably forgot because it was right when COVID hit, is he beat Kevin Lee, and it was a goddamn good win. So I think for Charlie O, the question mark is, if you go back, which I don't put too much into this, but if you go back, he has quit before, right? He had a little bit of quit in him. But that was years ago, man. Years ago. But he's gotten a whole lot better, different mindset. Striking's really caught up to his submission game. And stylistically for Tony, bit of a nightmare. Tony likes to, he's not the most traditional striker. His fundamentals aren't great, but he likes to mix it up. So I think if Charles Oliveira can use his reach, use his distance, that could pose some problems for Tony. The other thing, Tony fancies himself a submission artist. So is Charles Oliveira. And on paper, as far as submissions and finishes, Charles number 1. So he's going to entertain that. And if Tony decides to take him down, which I'd be surprised if he did, but if he did, Charles loves being off his back. Charlie O's pretty filthy off his back. Tony catches a lot of guys in the transitions with his Darces and Anacondas and Guillotines. A high-level guy like Charles, I don't know. We'll see. The one thing Tony has for him is that X factor where he can catch Darces and Guillotines from unpredictable positions where a lot of traditional jiu-jitsu guys aren't even thinking about that, and Tony pulls it off. Who's the favorite, Jen?
Let's take a look. Tony minus 170.
That's fair. Yeah. You look at Tony's resume, you get Charles Oliveira's resume. If this is college football, Tony Ferguson's just that tough, gritty SEC war dog that's just had them battles, and he's won most of them. He's lost one, you know. He's like freaking. He's that tough, gritty SEC team with one loss, but you know they're fucking good, and they're one win away from national championship. And Charles Oliveira is like they're like Cincinnati right now. You know, like Cincinnati, where they're ranked 6. And you're like, all right, how would they do against like an Alabama or a Clemson or an Ohio State? Well, we're about to find out because Tony Ferguson's that. You know, he's been beating up some really good guys, but strength of schedule just ain't the same to Tony Ferguson's. I'm most excited for that fight on the card. I can't wait. What else we got? Of course, Kevin Holland versus Jacare Souza. Huge Kevin Holland fan. Selfishly, I want Kevin Holland to win this fight for a variety of reasons. But number one, he'd be on Food Truck Diaries like next week. If he loses, probably can't have him on, especially if he gets like, you know, if his face is all fucked up. So head movement, Kevin, and let's get you out there and feed you, man. But yeah, it could get a little dicey if your face is all up, you know. So selfishly, I want Kevin to win, and I'm a fan of Kevin. And I think the sky is just the limit for that dude. This will be his 5th fight in 2020, which is insane when you think about that, especially everything we've gone through. This dude has been working, man. And then this one's just, if you're an old school UFC fan, you know who JDS is. We all know who JDS is. He's fighting Gain. Listen, to have JDS a 4-1 underdog is offensive, Vegas. That is offensive. Is he gonna win? Probably not. But 4-1? How dare you? How dare you, Vegas? That is a slap in a Brazilian heavyweight legend's face. 4-1 dog? Dude, it's just but also I kind of get it. If you don't know who Gain is, he is training partners with Francis Ngannou. He is an absolute monster on the feet. He's undefeated. He's undefeated in the UFC. He was undefeated outside the UFC. He's a striking expert, and then he also fancies himself on the ground too. He's pulled off some submissions in the UFC. So, you know, it's how long can Junior Santos play this game and not get knocked out? It's not good. But Gain obviously knows what he's doing with heavy punchers because he trains with Francis Ngannou every goddamn day, which can't be fun. Main event on the prelims, you got Cub Swanson, Pinata. Not a great fight for your boy Cub Swanson. You know I love you, Cub. Not a great fight, man. It's a tough one for him. They're not doing him any favors. Man, this could be fight of night too. There's a few great fights. Renato Massino and Fizev. Is that right, Chin? Fizev? Tough fight for Marciano. Renato Marciano. Very tough fight. That Fizev is a combat sports black belt. Just an absolute monster. If you watch his last fight, this kid is a fucking monster. Great fight at lightweight. Mark that Fizev down as a guy to watch, though. Absolute nightmare. But this next fight could be fight of the night too, because you got Mackenzie Dern versus your girl, Chin.
Yes, Verna Jandiroba.
Verna Jandiroba. Both black belts. Mackenzie Dern, obviously a huge fan of, for a variety of reasons. Absolute monster. She's been working at the gym out here in Orange County at Ruka Sport. So obviously working on her stand-up. That's always a big variable for her. So we'll see. You know, I think she's a slight favorite in this fight. You know, her last few wins, she's pulled off the submissions. Verna's a monster too on the ground. Not to Mackenzie Dern's level, but she's still tough. So I don't think your traditional setup's going to work on Verna. So I'm excited for this one. I think it has fight of the night written all over. I can see transition, stuff like that. Never mad at Mackenzie Dern or Verna when they fight. Your boy Jangalang's fighting, Chin.
Yeah, he's badass. Always fun.
Chase Hooper is fighting too. Yeah. Good card, man. Yeah, I'll take my money.